But then, his refined qi flooded his channels. It was a cool, healing balm, sealing the micro-tears almost as fast as they formed. His strategy shifted in a nanosecond. Burst, evade, strike the weakness. Precision over brute force. The brute force was merely the key. Precision was the hand that turned it. The mirrors replayed the fight's rhythm, a silent teacher revealing the secrets of the Tao in every breath, every heartbeat, every tremor of a strained muscle. Sunset bathed the inner city grounds in molten gold. Ancient pagodas, their eaves curled like sleeping dragons, cast long shadows across the courtyards. Disciples gathered in hushed groups, their eyes fixed on one figure, Lin Wei. He walked alone, his posture straight, his presence undeniable. His body bore the marks of his victory, not open wounds, but a web of tiny healing fractures woven into his hardened flesh, visible only to a cultivator's gaze. Each mark was a story, a testament to pain endured and a greater strength gained. A senior disciple, a man who had long overlooked Lin Wei, gave a slow, deliberate nod of respect. Lin Wei stands not by arrogant qi alone, he said to those around him, his voice carrying. He stands by unyielding flesh and an unbreakable mind. Lin Wei overheard, but his expression did not change. His voice was steady, meant for all to hear. Strength is a chisel. Time is the sculptor. He paused. His gaze swept over the crowd. I am simply becoming more refined. A sneer from a nearby peer, one who had mocked his methods before. Refined or just bruised? Lin Wei didn't even turn his head. A flicker of his qi, a tiny controlled burst flared from him. It was a pressure wave, silent and invisible, that slammed into the mocking disciple. The smirk on the young man's face froze, then faded into pale shock. He took an involuntary step back. The ground shook almost imperceptibly with Lin Wei's deliberate steps. Each footfall was a declaration of power. Pulses of energy whispered from his body, a quiet promise of the terrifying growth yet to come. Respect rose like a tide, unspoken but absolute. Far away, across the valley of whispering winds, hidden in the deep shadows of the Crimson Lotus sect, a lone figure watched through a scrying artifact. Flickering blue spirit flames cast an ominous, cold light on jagged obsidian gates carved in the likeness of snarling demons. Spiritual beasts, spectral shadow foxes with 9 tails and eyes of cold fire, circulated silently, their forms melting in and out of the darkness. They scented the air for intruders. The figure's cold eyes were fixed on the tiny projection of Lin Wei's form, a fist clenched. Words appeared as ghostly crimson script hovering around the clenched hand. So the stubborn boulder grows heavier. The script swirled, reforming into new words. Soon it will crumble. It must crumble beneath the torrent the Crimson Lotus is about to unleash. A faint predatory smirk betrayed absolute confidence. The figure's form dissolved, melting into a patch of deep shadow. There was no sound, not even the displacement of air. A vanishing act of supersonic grace. The spectator was gone, as quietly as a death sentence whispered on the wind. Lin Wei's rise had not been unnoticed. It was a ripple that would soon become a wave. Pain had carved a new path for him. It was a path of balance, of wisdom gained through endured torment. The Tao demanded harmony. Strength was the vessel. Qi was the essence. Only through breaking bars, both internal and external, could true ascension ever begin. The colossal arena stood still and silent now, its great pillars absorbing the last rays of the sun, awaiting the storm that was surely yet to come. And neither shall I.
His bones felt molten. They twisted in agony, creaking and groaning as they were forcibly realigned to handle a higher grade of power. His skin burned with an internal fire so hot that a faint steam rose from his body. His mortal shell rebelled. His muscles locked in a violent seizure, every fiber screaming for release from the torment. Yet, something else was happening. His body was not just breaking, it was being reforged. Beneath the burning skin, his muscle fibers thickened, weaving themselves into denser, more powerful cords. His blood vessels, once fragile, were instantly reinforced, their walls layered with a faint sheen of Qi. This was the essence of his dual cultivation. His body adapted, contracting and hardening to contain the surging power that threatened to tear it apart. A sound cut through the haze of pain. It was not a sound of the cavern, but of the Tao itself, the clear, resonant chime of a celestial bell. Then came the voice, cold, impartial, absolute. New node activated, vein of persistence. Corporeal cultivation efficiency increased by 3%, unlocks resilience against spiritual fatigue. A towering holographic schematic blazed into existence before Lin Wei's closed eyes. It was a perfect golden-red projection of his own meridian system, and on it a new line of light pulsed with fierce, untamable life. The vein of persistence throbbed, a brilliant gold spun with a faint crimson aura. A wave of pure energy washed through him, not of Qi, but of concept, endurance, mental fortitude. The pain did not vanish, but it became distant, a storm raging against the walls of an unshakable mountain. Lin Wei fixed his inner gaze on the glowing node. "Progress is born through pain," he murmured, his voice steady now. "Endurance is wisdom incarnate." The holographic system faded. The divine chime fell silent. Light returned to the cave as the Tao runes on the pillars reignited, their blue glow now seeming brighter, clearer. He rose slowly, each movement deliberate. His body no longer hummed with power, it thrummed with a deep, resonant frequency, his very bones now tuning forks for the world's ambient Qi. Lin Wei walked toward the cave mouth, emerging into the biting morning air just as dawn broke. The first rays of sunlight flared across a sea of jagged peaks, mountains so tall they seemed to pierce the heavens themselves. He took a breath. The crisp air, rich with Qi, was no longer just air, it was nourishment, a pure stream of energy that flowed into him as effortlessly as water. His breathing was no longer a conscious effort, but a silent, perfect cycle. A loose pebble, dislodged by the wind, tumbled from an overhang. His eyes tracked its descent, seeing every spin, every bounce, with preternatural clarity before it came to rest. His body felt like refined jade, impossibly hard, yet flawless and pure. It was a vessel tempered in fire, now capable of containing immense power without risk of shattering. He could feel the internal upgrades settling in, microfractures in his bones, remnants of 100 brutal training sessions were knitting themselves shut. A 3% increase in efficiency sounded small, but he knew it meant 100 days of cultivation could be achieved in 97. It meant his stamina in battle would last that crucial moment longer. "The Tao does not hurry," Lin Wei said softly to the rising sun, "nor does it falter." He stepped forward onto a stone ledge overlooking the world. His eyes were clear, steady, and within their depths, something ancient and unyielding had taken root. "So too shall my spirit endure beyond horizon's end." The mountain wind, a torrent that could strip flesh from bone, whipped his robes around him. It took his vow and carried it across the endless peaks. The path ahead was harsh, the heavens were unforgiving, but Lin Wei's veins had been unlocked, and with them his epoch of ascendance had truly begun.